Well, there you have it. 24-25 season for the New York Islanders now is officially over. And all I can say is it's mercifully over. I'm wearing my ball cap, my Islander ball cap on the last podcast here, saying that I am more than ready for a baseball season. I'm ready to exit Islander hockey season, that's for sure. Go Jays. See what they can do this year. They're not much better than the Islanders, so but what a way to go out. I don't know. I guess some people you could say they finally did it right by losing and sewing up the I believe it's the 10th pick that we have going into the lottery drop. So that I believe makes us eligible to possibly get the first overall pick. It either or it makes us eligible to get into the top three. I'm not sure. I think the top 11 are allowed to or can win the lottery. So the Rangers slip in there too. They traded a pick away to who was it to Vancouver for JT Miller, and it had bottom 13 protection. So it looks like the Rangers will be keeping that first round pick this year and probably picking. So let's scoop up who we want right in front of them. So that'd be great. Or it'd be even better to go all the way up to first and be interesting to see who the Islanders would take. Would they take the overall consensus number one pick and Schaefer, the Canadian defenseman, or would they go with James Higgins, the Long Island boy who loved the Islanders? So I don't think it's probably much of a call here. However, I do think, and I at the time I didn't think we made a mistake, but I think we made a mistake by taking Tavares over Hedman. Uh, that was a big mistake on our part. But at that time, what this franchise needed, they needed a face of the franchise, some hope, and that's why it was good that we got Tavares at that time period. But I think in the long run, we would have been a well better off team if we had taken Hedman for sure. 100%. So, well, would the Islanders take Schaefer or would they take Higgins? It'd be interesting. All right, so let's get into the game a little bit. This is well, I guess I'll talk about Matt later, but let's get into it. It's a snooze fest game, and this reminds me of the last time the All-Star game was 5-on-5. Uh, that's what it looked like to me. It was like a no-hitter contest where everybody was more worried about getting injured than they were about playing the game. So it was a pretty boring game to watch. It was a pretty rough first period. It was slow moving. Nobody wanted to touch anybody. Yeah, it's just that's why I was so hoping that this game meant whether Columbus got into the playoffs or not, because I think that would have even ramped up the honors, but maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But it just goes to show you in a non-contact game like today's game, and you get into that kind of game, and the Islanders get 37 shots on net, and they only get one goal. It just shows you how lack of talent there is on scoring on this team and whatnot. And the worst part about it is out of those 37 shots, I really can't think of any that were really that tough of saves. They're pretty routine saves. I mean, Columbus only had 26 shots on net, and they put six in the net, and we have 37, and we barely scrape out one goal. So. It's not hard to see what went wrong with this team this year. That's for sure. That is for sure. So, all right, let's get it. I guess I already was talking about the game. So, after the first period, it goes scoreless. I think that's the 20th time this year we had a 0-0 score. So basically, one quarter of our games this year were nothing, nothing after one period. And as per usual, the Islanders give up the first goal, and it's in the second period, and that's when you know you're kind of down and out when that happens. They score a 2:21 mark. Cole Sillinger unassisted. Brutal giveaway. Brutal, 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 brutal. Not much longer after that. 5 minutes later, Dante Fabro from Harris, and it's 2-0. And then Veron Koff. Boy, that guy has really developed into a nice hockey player. Gets his 23rd of the year from Werenski and Sillinger. And I got to say, Werenski is one hell of a defenseman. That guy is awesome. He was awesome in Four Nations for USA, and he's kind of hidden from the NHL because he's in Columbus. It's like a lot of times they talk about how a lot of times superstars will get hidden in Canada because they don't get the whole lot of attention like a guy in Calgary or something like that. And I kind of feel like that's how it is with Werenski because what a hell of a pass that was. Anyway, up they go 3-0. Werenski and Sillinger with the assists on that one. And then not long after that, 5 minutes after that, Sean Corrali scores from Danforth and Gabranson. And it's 4-0, and this is a blowout, and this is a no-show, and this is embarrassing. And it's like, please just end the season. But no, Renski's got to rub it in even more. It scores his 23rd of the year from Monahan and Marchenko, and now it's 5-0. 5 goals in the second period, 5 unanswered goals in the second period, which leads you to ask the question, why play the third period? Like seriously, why play the third period? But you got to play the string out, and that's the way it is. So, uh, for all the people who've been wanting to rebuild and that, and like, it shows you how no fun it is not making the playoffs and like not even having a hope. Like for me, when we were in the battling it out and there was still a possibility that we could make the playoffs, I so almost didn't want to make the playoffs because it would have just been a futile, useless endeavor. We would have absolutely gotten smoked in 4 games. You could just see this team just didn't have the talent as is constructed right now. So there you go. So we go into the third period, and Hudson Fasching scores. I think it's his third goal here on NHL.com. It says it's only his second. I know that one was deflected off somebody, so I'm not sure if they took a goal away from Fasching or not. But it's kind of funny because I've been bashing Hudson on this podcast. I think he scored 3 goals in the last 5 games for the Honors, saying the guy cannot score. But it's still not enough to change my mind. I think if Hudson ends up returning on this team this next year, we won't have really improved at all. So we break the shutout. Puck barely crawls across the line. Zeker gets himself an assist. It's 5-1. Just take out the string. And then actually a pretty funny goal on the sixth goal. Adam Fantilli lets Matt Martin win the face-off, and he wins it so clean. And our defense is just so bad that even on a clean on a clean draw win, we can never clear the zone. And the Honors just give it straight to Fantilli, and Fantilli scores 6-1. And mercifully, the final horn goes off and the game ends, and the Honors have lost 6-1. And congratulations, Islander fans. You've made it to the summertime and you can get out there and enjoy it. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day outside behind me right now. And I would love to be out there doing that. And I'm going to be doing that. I won't be tied down with watching. I wouldn't mind. Like, I don't mind watching hockey in good weather. I'll watch the Islanders go right to the Cup in June and not give two hoots about the weather, but when we suck and we don't even put out any effort, and I'm in here wasting 2.5 hours watching the game, and then what, another hour and a half, 2 hours to put this podcast together, edit it, produce it, or whatever, get it off. So there I am devoting 4.5 hours where I could be outside in beautiful weather. I mean, let's face it, we're just coming out of winter. Mind you, winters here aren't very harsh, but still, yeah, you still like to get out in the t-shirt instead of being outside in a hoodie. You know what I mean? It's just way better way to go. So anyway, so that's how it ends. The Islanders end the season 500. I believe we're 32 and 13, something like that. Uh, not a good year. It was very, very taxing on the mental health, that's for sure. Uh, the whole season was a chase. It was an entire chase. Everything about this season we were chasing. We were behind and out of the playoffs early, so we were chasing. Every game we chased because I think we gave up like 50 first goals to the other team. So once again, then we're chasing. So it never ever seemed like the Islanders were absolutely in control of any games this year. So it was always, as a fan, you always felt like we were behind the eight ball. And then every time they got close to the playoffs, the second they got a chance to get into the playoffs, that's when they falter again and drop back. It's very frustrating season. Very frustrating season, especially, we went through that stretch. We lost our five Islanders after game five there, and they were all out like 20 games minimum, and that killed us. Barzell, I can't even remember what he looks like. It's been so long since he's played for the Islanders. So yeah, let's talk about the players. There's not really a whole lot to say here. A few people showed up tonight, not many. Sipikov had a better game than his last game, but he was still a -2 tonight. 14:34, nice time. He did get two shots on net, but he blocked three shots. So in a game like this, and you block three shots, it tells me Max cares. He at least cares. And same could be said about Holmstrom. He went -2 as well, but he also had three block shots, but he had no shots on net. His offensive flair kind of disappeared for the last four games of the season, but overall, fantastic season for Simon. So not going to be mad at him at all for that. Bo Horvat, just a kind of ho-hum game, one shot on net, one hit, and he was a -1. So nothing really much to show. I mean, let's face it, a lot of these guys were just mailing it in. They were mailing it in. Gatcombe, I thought, wasn't mailing it in, but he was a -2, and that's the fourth line again. We can't have that, but Gatcombe had two shots on net, one block shot. But you can see the effort of Gatcombe out there trying where I talked in the last podcast that a guy like him can't afford to not show up for games like this because it sticks out to coaches and general managers more than if Bo Horvat went and sauntered all over the ice and barely put in any effort in the last game of the year because he was pissed off and he was depressed. GM and coach wouldn't think twice of it, but a guy like Gatcombe does that, and boy, they notice that real quick. So smart move on Gatcombe's part to put in a good effort tonight. Matty Martin, I don't think this is his last game. I really don't. And I can tell you this right now. There is a reason why Matt Martin has every time he's asked, like, is this it? He goes, who knows what the future holds. There's a reason why he's saying that. And I'm telling you this right now. If Lou Lamoriello walked in that dressing room after the game with a contract for next year for Matt Martin, without hesitation, he would have signed the contract. The reason he said, I'm not sure, is because it's all in Lou's all in Lou's court here. So will he let Matt come back and try to get the 13 games? I think it's going to happen. I really do. And that should be upsetting to Islander fans. It was upsetting to me this year when we signed him. And I love Matt Martin, but it should be upsetting to Islander fans. But that's why Matt hasn't said he's actually retiring, because he gets another contract. He's coming. He gets another PTO. Don't be surprised. If he's offered a PTO, don't be surprised if he's out on the Islanders training camp. I was really happy to see Engvall was not one of the people who just didn't mail it in today. Pierre had 14 minutes and 24 seconds of ice time. He had three shots on net and one hit. He was actually quite noticeable in the game, and he was trying. So he was one of those guys that I thought can't really afford to mail it in. He needed to keep his good vibes going, and I think he kind of did. I think he kind of did. He slowed off a little bit in the last 5, 6 games of the year, but he was still one of the better Islanders on the ice. So it's important for Pierre to bring that momentum into next season. But it's more important to remember what made Pierre a better hockey player this year, and he needs to do that next year right from the get-go, so that he's not being sent down to the AHL, so that he's not being sent into the press box, and that he has to realize that you got to work to stay in the NHL. You got to work. You got to put in the effort. Hudson Fashion, kudos to him. Breaks the shutout, 14 minutes and 55 seconds of ice time, 4 shots on net. Hudson never really has problems getting shots on net. He just has problems scoring them. That's all. Uh, I didn't think he had an overly good game. Sure, he scored our goal, but I didn't think it was that great. But you know what? He was even in the plus minus. So like I guess I the third line, like Engvall was an even as well. And we didn't have a whole lot of evens on the ice tonight. But uh third line has definitely been probably our best line the last 5 games or so. So kudos for them for doing that. Like I said, pulling an even on a 6-1 night. That's pretty impressive. Kyle Palmieri, I thought Kyle passed up 2 glorious scoring opportunities to pass the puck to Anders' lead tonight. He was trying to get Anders his goal. So I think that kind of affected Palm's game a little bit. He was just always looking for Anders as soon as he got the puck, and that's pretty much what he did. 17 minutes and 30 seconds of ice time. He had 2 shots on net, 1 block shot. And the captain, Anders Lee, looking for number 30 tonight, didn't find it. He was a -1 in 17 minutes and 32 seconds of ice time, but he did get 6 shots on net. It wasn't for lack of trying. He certainly tried to get it. Anders also pulled off a block as well. I thought Kyle McLean was one of the guys who showed up tonight. It was good to see him skating hard, but -2. Talked about this all the time with fourth line, cannot have them going into the minus column. 13 minutes and 32 seconds of ice time. He had 1 block shot and 1 hit as well. Pager thought was really good in the faceoff dot once again, as he usually always is, but -2, 13 minutes and 35 seconds of ice time. Only had 1 shot on net. Pager is one of the guys that we could move in the offseason that I'd be more than fine with. However, I hate to say that because I remember for the longest time we were such a terrible, terrible face-off team, and it makes a huge difference when you're a really bad face-off team. And Pager makes us a good face-off team, and getting that puck on the face-off, the possession right off the bat makes a huge difference, especially for a team like the Islanders who are possession challenged in the first place. Casey Zizekas, I think, ended off the season very nicely. Picked himself up an assist tonight with 15 minutes and 8 seconds of ice time. Got 2 shots on net and 1 block shot. Playing typical Casey kind of hockey. I noticed Patrick got Casey and Matt out for the last shift of the game. I think Patrick thinks that's the end of Matt. I think Patrick wants this to be the end of Matt, but Patrick, if you're back next year, don't be surprised if you see Matt Martin walking in with his hockey bag. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, so on defense tonight, we sat Pollock and Pellock, and we didn't have Romanov playing. So that left us with Mike Riley, who I think should be in the lineup more than he has been in the lineup. He was -2 tonight, 18 minutes of ice time, but he had 3 shots on net. I like his offensive side. He had 1 block shot. He did have 1 giveaway. Tony D'Angelo had a rough night in the plus minus. He was a -3 in 20 minutes of ice time, but like the offensive guys, they sometimes that'll happen. I mean, he had 5 shots on net, 2 block shots, 1 giveaway. So, I want my defensemen to shoot the puck. I also want them to be good defensively. It was just a no-show game. So the plus minus tonight, it can be kind of deceiving. Noah Dobson, I thought, definitely showed spurts and signs. His offensive flair tonight. He had 3 shots on net. He did have 1 giveaway. He had 21 minutes of ice time, or no, 23 minutes and 19 seconds of ice time. It was Scott Mayfield who had 21 minutes of ice time, and Scotty, who was a +1. I'll have to go back and check. I remember about halfway through the season, Scotty was our plus minus leader. I'm not sure if he hung on to that. I'll have to go back and check the stats and find out if he does or not. So anyway, Scotty had 2 shots on net, 1 block shot, and he had a pretty typical Scotty Mayfield game, +1, but just logged way more ice time than he normally does. But he did really well with it. Perunovich for me is, yeah, I talked about this last podcast. He can be the seventh, eighth guy, for me. That's about as that's the place for me on this team. He was a -2 tonight, 18 minutes and 17 seconds of ice time, two block shots and one giveaway. Adam Boquist, another one, didn't look that great tonight either. -3, 19 minutes and 23 seconds of ice time and had one shot on net. So uh, you got some work to do, Lou. You got some work to do. And Hogberg, wow, did he ever look like a third stringer tonight? 769 save percentage, giving up 6 goals on 26 shots. Not good, not good, not good. Now, Hogberg, his last 3 or 4 games were not good. All the games before that were awesome. So, uh, kind of what happened in Ottawa. He came into Ottawa and he came in as a rock solid superstar and looked fantastic. It looked like he was going to be their number one goaltender, and then all of a sudden it just ended. So who knows what the real Marcus Hogberg is? So I guess we shall see next year. I'm contemplating maybe doing a video on the Islanders, what went wrong with the season. I do a season synopsis. I have a couple of friends on a message board that I think I'm going to ask to get together, and we're going to have a bit of a round table and kind of discuss a few topics about what went wrong with the Islanders this year and what could go right for the Islanders next year, which right now is looking bleak as far as I can see. To me, it looks bleak right now, unless Lou has some major plan up his sleeve that I don't know about, and it's a lot of work. He's got a lot of work to do if we're going to be even close to be talking about possibly making the playoffs next year. So is Iserman coming our way? Is Callum Ritchie gonna make the team? I assume he is. Will Barzell stay healthy? We got a lot of things that could happen. Anders Lee could take a drop next year. We've been expecting a drop out of Anders for quite some time now, and it just hasn't. But he's at that point in his career where any second it could happen. What's going to happen with Palms? I really think that we're going to sign Palms, but those will be things to talk about in up and coming podcasts. So maybe I will get Mark and George together and see if they want to do this out with me. And yeah, so look forward to that, putting that out on the channel. So anyway, I hope all you guys and girls out there are having a good evening. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful summer holidays. Enjoy the playoffs. Let's cheer on, pick who you want to cheer on for. It's hard to cheer for Bo on the Capitals. I don't know if I can do that, but I can definitely go for Brock on the Avalanche. That's for sure. Devon Taves. I mean, I've already cheered for the Avalanche to win for Devon Taves. And they did. So I don't mind seeing them repeat again. It's a team that I've never hated. So I love their style of play. I love the way they play hockey. So I might just throw my hat into the ring of the Colorado Avalanche. I might also kind of cheer for the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets have really done a whole bunch of nothing in the NHL, really. They've always been fairly good teams, even when they were in the first time as a franchise, but they could never, they couldn't get out of the first round against Gretzky, and if they didn't play Gretzky, then they played the Flames, and the Flames were a powerhouse of their own. And the poor Jets just get getting eliminated first round every year as that franchise, and now they've come back and they put together what could be the best team of the year this year. But everybody thought they were going to do wonders last year in the playoffs, and they absolutely completely bombed. It's one team that just has not performed at all. Anyway, I got off onto a tangent there as I was saying goodbye to everybody and wishing everybody hoping you all have a good summer and that. And I really do hope you have a good summer. I know a lot of motorcycle riding for me in the future. I will be going to Alberta and then down to Idaho on the bike and try to go as far south as I can go. I think the little lady's coming with me this year, so who knows? Might try to make it all the way to Texas. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope all you guys and girls out there have a great summer. Y'all take care and peace out.